complete with background music today. That's right. And sound effects. So we're talking today, the topic is the bad sheet. For those of you that have been in Slack, you've gotten hints. We've had great guesses, but they have all failed so far. The correct guess, oh, sorry, you didn't. There. That's the fail sign. But what we have unveiled or are about to unveil is our brand new tool, the broadcast advertising dashboard. It is the bad sheet. And if you are a school that has never used advertisers with your live stream, or you have used many advertisers with your live stream, but you have really struggled to organize who has paid, who needs an invoice, what did we promise to advertiser 1 that's a little different than advertiser 2? Did we created different packages? Maybe you have thought about it, but you have no idea how to start. We kind of kept all of those questions in mind when we discussed starting and creating our own broadcast advertising dashboard. So we're going to talk about the bad sheet today. And yes, the puns have flown for the last week and a half. This has been an interesting project on the Striv side. Jordan and Danielle have been heavily involved. Jordan did a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to setting up this sheet and the script running and all of that. I did some shading and stuff to make a sheet look a little pretty, but I didn't do much except get to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. So in the sharing of the screen, let's begin with the bad, right? And thumbs up, Jordan and Danielle. We're good. Seeing my screen here. So this is what it will look like. And yes, it is simply a Google Sheet on steroids, as we like to call it. So there's basically 4 kind of steps that you would be looking at, four main points to the bad sheet. The first thing is you're going to create your ad packages, and we're going to give you a sample sheet, and we're going to kind of go through that here in a little bit. It's pretty easy. It's some drop downs, a little bit of typing to assign your monetary value, and that's it. It's really more a matter of just setting up and creating, well, what does package 1 look like? What would package 2 look like? Customizable to the fact that this could be just your live stream, but we've had a little bit of feedback on a few of you that have got this already, and some of that feedback is, hey, I can use this with my scoreboard advertising. Absolutely. So we'll kind of show you how to do that. And then you will, as you go through the sales process, once you've nailed down what the actual packages are, now you're going into the sales process. And once you've got those advertisers committed, you're going to assign a package to each of those sponsors. We'll show you that again here. And it will begin that payment process, which we think is kind of slick, actually. Then the next step is we will give you a printable run sheet. And what's really cool is all you got to do is title your event and give it a date, and then select the advertisers, just the advertisers that are on that particular event. Start your event, print that page out, and you will have a physical copy so that a producer or play-by-play person, depending on how your setup is, can physically mark in the square or circle, because Jordan did a great job of getting us 2 different designs to make sure that there was no confusion on what's a circle. Is that the number of times the commercial is played, or is the square the number of times the commercial was talked about? Very important point. So we went circles and squares. It's awesome. We'll show you that in a second. And then you're going to print that page, like we said. They've got a physical way to track that. And then another cool thing is Jordan went the next step, which is to record the ads that are on that sheet. They go to a following tab, which is called Ads Run. And again, we'll talk about that. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow this whole Google Sheet to track, okay, your ad was played on this day and it got this many views. That's in the Analytics tab. So we'll talk about that as well. Of note, the Analytics tab currently is still a physical, you must input the data yourself. The cool thing is we have given you space for 10 different metrics to track, and there's a little crossover each way. So, and then the reporting, that's where you will be able to pull all metrics for each sponsor, so that you could tell sponsor number 1, we had this many views on our live channel, we had this many plays, you had this many people in the in the arena to see your scoreboard advertisement, for instance. All of those numbers can be laid out into one sheet, and that is what you can deliver back to your current and to your prospective advertising clients. So that's step one. That's the how to use the sample ad package. Now, this is where we've kind of gone through a little bit and given you a real brief overview of a sample, a possibility, if you will, of what you can do for an ad package. For instance, you could have your gold package. And again, we base this kind of off ours. So for $500, that particular advertiser will get 5 plays per game of their video commercial. They will get a live mention 4 times. They will have a corner graphic on screen at all time. If you've been watching some state softball stuff or some of the stuff that we've done over the last few years, corner graphic works great. It's an easy way to incorporate an advertiser, and it's not hard to do within Wirecast. Very easy. Get the logo, throw it in the corner, done. And so you get a pretty good monetary return for not a lot of work in the stream. Do they go on a list graphic? Perhaps this is made outside of Wirecast and is just a running list of your advertisers. Are they going to be listed on your channel page ad? Yes. And here is where you can start to actually add a few of your own customized package options. Perhaps you have a scoreboard ad, or perhaps you have a yearbook ad that you want to give this gold package. That way, when you set this price for this package, you can designate all of the different things that package entails, and then create the step below that. Well, the silver package at a little different price point gets only 2 plays versus 5, gets 2 mentions, does not have the corner graphic, is on the list, might be on the scoreboard, might not, might be in the yearbook, but might be the half-page yearbook, something like that. And so, as you can see, that's where you can really start to customize each plan to your businesses that you are currently working with. We've got all of this room for all sorts of different packages. It is all total of 10 different packages that you could create to offer to your advertising partners. So that's kind of step one. Create those packages, list out the prices, make sure that everyone's on the same page. And the nice thing about this, you could physically print just that part of the page and go, this is exactly what you're going to get as a business for that gold package, for that bronze package, for that buddy package, whatever it might be. You can physically hand deliver that to them and go, this is the packages. Down below assumes that we have made the sale and now we are advertising for an actual partner. So we have partner 1, they went with the gold package. What's the value of that? That will automatically fill in. For instance, partner 4, if we will, let's say they went on to the bronze package. You'll see that the value automatically pops in there as we check off the bronze package. Here's what's fun. Is the agreement signed? Well, the agreement has been signed. Has the invoice been sent? It has not been sent, nor has payment been received. So what's fun is you can actually track the payment process for each of these advertisers. You will get the total ad value. So that's the sum of all of the values. How much you have received will add up there. And if there's an outstanding balance, that will be there as well. And you will also be able to see down here a breakdown of the different ad partners who have outstanding balances and what those balances are. So for instance, if we did partner number 56 and we said that payment has not been received and we gave them on the gold package, we would see now that partner 56 still owes $500 and that our balance due is still up here. So our total ad value, real easy to track that. How many gold partners do we have? How many buddies? How many silvers? How many golds? All of that different stuff adds up real quick. So those are really the first 2 steps. We're going to name our packages, create those packages, and then we're going to make the sale, and now we're going to list our sponsors. Now we start getting into the actual implementation of these packages. So we're going to go to our printable run sheet. And as you see, we actually have helpful steps each of the way across the top here. So the first step is to title your event, and let's call this a test. And let's give this a date. If I double click in there, I can actually see today's date and click it from there. And so now I've given it an event and I've given it a date. So now I can select which ad partners are involved in this particular event. from my drop down. Oh, I was in my sample. So I should go to my, so now I'm going to copy all of that, right? Because my sample doesn't transfer over. Jordan was just going to watch me just wave in the wind there. Did you see that, everyone? I was floundering. So I am going to copy and paste that information from there. And I'm going to go 1. I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 4. And I'm going to say that this is my gold package. Partner 2 went with my silver. Partner 3 went with my bronze. And partner 4 went with my buddy. Now I have 4 advertisers. I have their packages over here. So I've got to give all of this stuff though. So this is going to be 3 plays. This is going to be 2 plays. This is going to be 1 play. Live mentions is the same, 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to be on the corner graphic. No and no. We're going to be on the list graphic. Yes, yes, yes. And the buddy is going to be on the list. Okay, so now we've created the packages for real. Now we're going to our run sheet, and now we can select that advertiser 1 is at the top. Yes, so the number of plays, again, the physical checkbox or circle, check circle as it were. So this will help your producer when we're setting up your streaming equipment, you're setting up your streams. How many times do I need to play advertiser 1? I'm going to play it 3 times. My announcer needs to know that, yes, we are going to have a live mention of that announcer 3 times. And also, if I'm setting up as a producer, yes, I make sure that they are the corner graphic and that, yes, they are on the list graphic. Advertiser 2, on down the list. List graphic, yes. Corner graphic, no. Advertiser 3, again, they get 3 reads because I clicked that, but only 1 live mention, no on the corner, yes on the list. And the 4 only gets the list. So they don't get anything else. They are only on the list. So that's what's fun. So I am going to print this sheet, physically hand deliver all of the different things within this sheet. Once my event is complete, I'm actually going to come over here to record ads. And this is going to run a script. So keep that in mind that the first time you go through this, you will need to you'll get a dialog box and you won't want to allow the script to run. So now that we've seen that it has completed, and now I can click new event to actually refresh this tab for the next time I need it. And you'll see that again, it will run a script. It'll finish the script. And now I'm ready for my next event. So what's cool is when I clicked record ads that first time, I've come to the ads run, and you will see that on the 13th, each partner was involved in event labeled test. This is good. We'll come back to that here in a second. So now the printable run sheet's done. Now it is time for the analytics. So now is when, again, I can click my date, and these, it's important to note that for you, this will be all the different things that you want to track. Do you want to track your page views from Striv TV? Do you want to track your web users? Do you want to track web plays? Both of those numbers right there are available within your dashboard. As is Roku right now. Fire TV is coming, but I don't believe, and Jordan's going to give me yes, they are, or no, they're not yet in the dashboard. The Fire TV analytics, no, that is a negative as of recording, but that's a property that is coming. So you would be able to track at least these 3 right within your dashboard. Again, check your days, check your event dates, pop your numbers in. All of that will fire up. You want to check out you had a Facebook graphic perhaps, and you've got it sponsored. How many views does the Facebook graphic have? How many views does the Twitter graphic or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is? How many people were in the gym to see your on-screen scoreboard commercial that you made them? That would be something that you could track in here as well. And so just sorting by date, we can see all sorts of different metrics that you could track for each event. And this, I think, is where things start to get really powerful for not just you and your class on the advertising side, but you're actually going to be able to give this back to your administrators and go, this is the different things, and this is the different ways we are impacting viewers and in persons. Here's the kind of things that are going on within the advertising world, within this media class, this club, whatever that looks like for your school. This is how we're impacting potential advertisers. And again, this might help you go back to your current advertisers and go look at the reach that you got with us last year. Thank you so much. Would you like to do a little more? Or it could go to a prospective client and go, these are the numbers that we're getting. People are watching our stuff. Our teams are good right now. This is a really good opportunity. If you invest a little bit of dollars with us, you are going to be seen in a very positive light because, man, our broadcasts are awesome. Stuff like that, right? So that's where you track all of that, is here in the analytics tab. And again, input your metrics and input your event dates. Each metric is its own column. It's important to note that you don't want to change this each time. So let's say you only track, and I will, for the time being, let's say on the first event, I only track page views and web views, web users. As we go on later on down, maybe then I start to track the OTT plays. It would be important to note that whatever you type in here, you don't want to go back and edit later, because this will be a running tab, and you'll see that we've got a whole lot of events. We tried to keep Marcus in mind when we were doing how many events. So what did we get to, like 195 different events that you could do to track. If you need more than that, please let us know. And Jordan will be happy to expand this sheet even more. If you do more than 195 events, congratulations, you're now a production company. You're no longer a school if you're doing 195 events between August and May. So now we come to the reporting side, and this is what is cool. So if we have put in our sponsors and we have tracked our numbers, and let's go back to our analytics real quick, and let's just say that we had 123 on the page views, we had 456 on the web, and we had 789 on over the top. Now what's fun, and I need to go back and run this again, don't I, Jordan?
You shouldn't have to.
I don't have to, because I'm going to refresh my report. Again, let my script run. I get a running tab here. And here is what I will see, is that, and this is important, and Jordan, I want you to help me make sure I remember to say this right. What this information is pulling is each advertiser, and it's tied to every time that they were listed for an event and that date. So we're kind of cross-referencing that an advertiser was seen on this many page views. So when we have a whole bunch of different dates and a whole bunch of different page views, we're going to report that essentially one time, and we're going to add up all the times that advertiser 4 saw some page views and stuff like that, basically, right? So that at the end of the year is kind of you probably wouldn't run this every game. You would run this maybe monthly or by semester or by year. But, so you get to the end of May and you're going to run this report, and it's going to tell you that advertiser 1 on page views, advertiser 1, if they were on the page, we saw this many page views on our channel. We had this many web users throughout the entire year. We had this many viewers over the top on the Roku and on the Fire TV, stuff like that. We had this many people that were in the stands. And again, great numbers for your admin to see how are we impacting people, and also great numbers for advertisers to see, wow, there's a lot of people that are watching this school stuff. I would like to be involved in that in some way, shape, or form. That has absolutely happened for some schools. They go, you know what? I like what's going on there. I want to be a part of it. What can I do? Hopefully then that creates the need and the want to adjust your packages. Maybe you create a platinum package that's $1,000 or something like that. And again, I created this as for the sample ad, and then we used it obviously in our test here today as just a starting point. Lot of different schools, and we've got some great examples. JCC is a great example. Broken Bow is a fantastic example. Great big number of advertisers that Broken Bow High School is working with. Lakeview's doing some good stuff. Kearney High, one advertiser. Rob probably doesn't need to run this sheet for the number of packages, but a person like Rob that has maybe they only have 2 advertisers total, he might actually come over to the analytics tab and want to go, all right, when we streamed on this day, we had these many page views, we had this many users, but we also have the information of how many people were in the gym, because now we want to track our scoreboard views as well for that Daktronics or that Score Vision board, right? So Rob might use things a little bit differently than a Marcus, different than Jason, or different than Josh at Lewis Central, who has already decided, I'm going to try to do a couple different ways of tracking things. We want this to be a start. We want this to be hopefully flexible for you to use, whether you are currently working with 10 or 15 advertising partners, or if you've never worked with an advertising partner, you have no idea where to start. Here's a sample. Here's a base package. See if you can sell this, and if you get a great response, awesome. If you don't get a great response, do you need to adjust the packages? Do you need to adjust the selling? This is a great real world experience for your students as well. If they are out and they need to make a sale, that's not easy, by the way. Making sales is not an easy task, and you might find that you have some kids that naturally gravitate to that sales side. That would be fun as well. You might find that there are definitely going to be those that are like, nope, I just want to be behind a camera. Let me do awesome stuff in Wirecast. Let me run the RCS scoreboard app. Let me run all these different things. But I'm not going to talk on air, and I'm not going to do the sales part, right? So you're really going to start to build a team, and everyone's got a different role on said team. That's what's a lot of fun about this. So that's what I've got for the bad sheet, the broadcast advertising dashboard. Flexible for a variety of school uses. That's what we wanted. I know we're going to get feedback on stuff, and can it pull this? Can it pull this? We've already gotten some feedback from a couple of early adopters, if you will, and it's been really good ideas. But we really just want to see what schools will use of this, and kind of how. So there's going to be obviously this is a free tool to download, no charge on any of this, available to Striv schools and non-Striv schools alike. And we want to make sure that everyone has access to this to start, even if you've never done anything. Like we said, here could be the start. Here could be that first step to monetizing the live stream and actually incorporating some advertising partners. Like I said, it might be as easy as a corner graphic, which is super low maintenance when it comes to your stream. Very easy to create that graphic, put it in the corner on a PNG that's sized correctly. When you drop it into Wirecast, you're done. You don't have to move it. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to resize it or anything like that. It's already sized up. It's pretty slick like that. Jordan, anything else that you would like to add as we talk about bad?
Got to find my unmute button. One thing I did want to kind of point out is you will need, on your printable run sheet, you will need to have a date. The event title is more for your guys's reference. That's not tied to anything as far as scripts and stuff running. So make sure you have a date, and you can use the double click feature. That way we know the dates kind of get formatted correctly. And that's kind of the main thing. We use the date to kind of correlate with the ads run, and then the analytics with that. So as you get more analytics in there, more days, I should say, you will have bigger numbers, hopefully, when you hit that refresh report button.
Yes, and hitting that refresh report button when you have a lot of, and we did some samples, when it it will take a while. If you do a lot, and I know I kind of joked at 195, but I've seen schools push 100 events through the course of a year, which is a lot. Um, that script will take a little bit of time too. We did notice that when we kind of maxed it out, and it took some time to run through that script because it was pulling a lot of numbers. It did go faster than me doing math, but it did take some time to fully finalize. Cool, Jordan. That's all I got, man.
Yep, and that's all I got. I'm open to feedback and improvements that we can do.
Yes. So we hope that you will be able to level up your broadcast advertising dashboard so that you do not fail when it comes to incorporating advertisers. We hope that you sing all of these successes and that you can fully realize and give some great student opportunities. And you know what you're going to do with these advertising dollars? For pizza parties. You're going to get the coolest new camera. You're going to get a new tripod that is a lot smoother than what you currently have. You are going to add a new camera. You're going to add a wireless communication system. You're going to add a wireless camera system. And what's going to happen? Well, you're going to look a lot better on your streams. That's what's going to happen. So that's the bad. That's the broadcast advertising dashboard. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us. And thanks to everyone else. And we will bid you adieu on this Thursday. Thanks a lot, everyone.